They slap it through. They're more than a goal down. Wells just grabs it and goals!
As I went up to tap it back into play, maybe for a third man up, I just had a feeling that I was sort of by myself in the air, and when I grabbed it, I knew that if I would have came down and got tackled, it would have been holding the ball. So I just put it on my boot and it just went through, so I was pretty happy about it.
23.5 minutes gone, final term. How's the presence of mind? The Jackie Chan in midair.
Can you tell me, is there a car on the line? Because you can just get the keys and put them in your pocket, Daniel Wells, if you don't mind. Unbelievable to watch.
And it would be the goal of the year indeed. Daniel Wells, the 20-year-old, originally out of the Peel Thunder. And he's returning to the scene of the crime today to try and inspire the Kangaroos in Lee Colbert's 200th game. Covering proceedings boundary side this afternoon. A very good afternoon to Michael Thompson. And you're happy it's not raining today, Tomo?
The siren, the horn sounding. I almost missed the last bit. I think, Clinton, were you saying, am I happy it's not raining? It's not raining. In fact, it won't rain for the rest of today. It is very, very cold, though. A wind chill factor of about -3 boundary side. Players are going to find it really good, though, playing on Subiaco. We've had record rains here in the west. It's been the wettest start to June since 1954. But this ground has sensational drainage, and it has come up an absolute treat. I was just talking to Grant Walsh, the manager of the ground. He's delighted with it. There is a wind that's blowing across the ground. I don't think it'll affect the play too much. Generally, perfect conditions for football, I would say, if a little bit on the cold side. Talking to some of the Fremantle people before the start of this game and during the week, some of the coaching staff, there is no question they are treating this game as a final. It is so important for them. Have a great call, gentlemen.
Thanks, Michael. Peter Bell winning the toss to the right hand or three-tiered stand end as he plays game number 100 for the Dockers today. So becoming just the 23rd man in VFL AFL history to play in 100 games at two clubs.
Just quickly, I'm not too sure whether they used the rock, paper, scissors method there to see who won the toss. I know they did it the first time they captained against one another.
Tight net huddle for the Kangaroos, who play very well against the Fremantle Dockers. 9-3 all-time head-to-head. They've met 4 times before at this venue, and the Kangaroos have won 3 of them. And certainly a higher scoring team. This is the Kangaroos' 6th interstate trip already in 2005. 2-3 is their record. They've won 5 of 8 all time at this ground against the Dockers or the Eagles. Going to be intriguing to see matchup wise, and also where Matthew Pavlich will play and who will be on him, Jared, this afternoon.
Well, I think that's an issue, Clinton. I'm not sure who's got the motor to go with him, but with the absence of Aaron Sandilands, Wayne, just thinking this through, maybe they're thinking they've got to get Pavlich closer to goal. And that would mean they may have to find a centre half forward rather than a full forward. Justin Longmuir will have to take the ruck. We know Dodge is going to have to back up, or even a Michael Johnson in that role. But wouldn't surprise to see Matthew Pavlich start much deeper than he has.
I think what you'll see today is the likes of Glenn Archer, Lee Colbert play off their man to help whoever does play on Pavlich. So it'll be a tough day at the office with those 2 players around.
Notice Polak is already going deep in defence to pick up Nathan Thompson at the city end of the ground.
That's a good test for him, because as we said, he's been out of form, dropped last week, and to come back in and have a guy that's in red hot form, good test.
He turned 21 on Thursday. I fancy he celebrated with a soft drink.
Yes, he would have learned his lesson. Hopefully, Pavlich there just Huppo and Butbo and Hazelby down as deep as well.
Hazelby was on Rawlings when these clubs met last year and kept him to 14 touches. Paccioni going to Bell, Hazelby and Rawlings getting it on. It means plenty. And it's Longmuir against Petrie starting with the opening bounce for the Kangaroos. Our umpires are wired for sound today, and it's Craig Hendry calling a free kick for the Dockers. Stuart Wen and Sean Ryan are his colleagues this afternoon.
And it is Watt that has gone to Pavlich, and Brown's playing loose in front of Pavlich.
Now, there's a little bit of confusion amongst the 2 umpires. They both paid free kicks to the Fremantle Dockers, so it's going to be a 50-metre penalty, and Fremantle are going to have a shot at goal with this match just getting underway.
I'm glad they sorted that out, Clinton.
Both umpires paying free kicks. The question will be whether it's Longmuir or Dodd to have the footy, and I fancy Longmuir as the man closer to the Dockers attacking in, who got the free, will take it. Another look. Longmuir caught high by Petrie, and there was another free kick away from the camera.
Just a few of the matchup. Rawlings has gone to Hazelby, and also Black has gone to Daniel Wells.
Well, Rawlings has got a pretty good history on Hazelby. This is an important kick. This is a side that's down on confidence. Has lost the last couple. They need to get away to a good start.
And Dodd from 45 misses to the right-hand side. He's back in the team. He was with Polak being omitted last week, and Dodd, well, he's got a birthday tomorrow, turning 22.
Still not sure who's doing the pushing and the shoving here, whether it's the Kangaroos starting it or whether it's the Dockers, because I think there's a view that the Dockers haven't got a lot of physical presence and they are able to be intimidated. And maybe the captain, Hazelby, and Bell, the captain, I should say, have taken upon themselves to make a statement.
Sean Ryan with the whistle on Jeff Farmer.
At the start of the game, there were 4 Kangaroos players that went straight to Pavlich and bumped into him. None other than Glenn Archer, Lee Colbert, Brown and White.
Medhurst is having a big wrestle with Ferrudo.
And it's Brown, the former Docker, going wide to Harvey. 65 from home, crowded midfield. Thompson provides a lead. It's rewarded and Thompson marks. And it's Thornton alongside for the time being on Nathan Thompson. 25 goals for the season, including 5 last week. He's kicked 16 of those 25 in the last 5 weeks, Nathan Thompson. A chance here for the Kangaroos first. His eyes darted to the lead of Petrie, but thought, no, I'll go myself. The view from behind him, the kick from just beyond the 50 has been touched on the line.
It looks like Longmuir and Petrie are playing on one of through the midfield, and Hale is actually playing forward.
Parker to bring it back into play. Dockers 5 and 7, 12th on the ladder, entering this round having lost their last 2. Kangaroos 7 and 5, 7th as Parker to Hazelby nearly came unstuck. Black going wide, and now here's Dodd. Effective short ball, and here he is, the first game of Brett Peake. 21 years of age, has been waiting a while, and the kick is first in AFL footy, travels the required 15 before arriving to Cook.
Well, Rawlings is tracking Hazelby, and Hazelby started off in the forward pocket and he got his first possession in the back pocket, so he's got some work to do. He's going to run all day.
Now Johnson's got some work to do here, tracking this one near the boundary line. He's adept to the task and works it nicely to the wing, and Dodd is prominent early.
Pachoni is tagging Bell, and already you can see Pachoni struggling to keep up with Bell through the midfield.
Polak for Josh Carr, waiting for Black to run alongside. Kangaroos getting back in vast numbers. Black bombing it long inside the 50. Farmer is there. Hazelby given a subtle nudge. Rawlings, well done, and a neat little sidestep by Petrie. And the Roos have got 3-on-1 here. And Captain Courageous Adam Simpson has been carrying a foot injury. Kicks to space. Thompson and Polak the only 2 within 30 or so metres. Polak kept the feet well. Carr down the line, intended for Pavlich. The match up there with Watt. This is Simpson going for Brown. Wide ball for Wells. What will the afternoon hold for Daniel Wells?
What will the afternoon hold for both these clubs? Wayne, you were talking just before the match, thinking you can sense a really close hit out.
I think it's going to be a close contest. I think both sides need to win. If the Kangaroos win, they cement themselves in the 8, obviously, and it's a must-win for Fremantle. I think it'll come down to the wire today.
Petrie with the footy at midfield.
And you can already see both sides are getting numbers back to clog up forward line, so it's going to be a contest all day.
It's a double flood.
Countable and then some. As you see the Pachoni lead, Thompson in that direction, the spoil by Dodd. Johnson, the quick hands, Thornton. Now Des Headland back in the side, finding Pavlich.
But as Pavlich looks up the ground, all that he sees is Kangaroo play, so they have to go short.
And Headland, who can run and carry the football. This kick inside the 50, a wobbly one, and it's well read by Ferrudo.
Well, that's the whole issue about having players up the ground. If you can't deliver it and hold on to the ball and then pass it to players running towards your goal, well, then you're just going to get a turnover like this. That's a poor kick from Des. He's got to be able to find targets.
Pachoni being stalked by Thornton. Bounces it up. Corey Jones brought down by Cook. Got it on to Petrie, and now Wells. They're leaving the forward line open here. Going wide, Shannon Grant, a fraction too far out. Harvey streaking towards the pocket, will be on the end of it. Now, tight angle. Headland stands the mark.
It's the only way to beat the flood. But quick ball movement through the midfield. You see Wells, he got it in there very quickly to Grant. Grant looks up, Harvey's run into space, and that is the way to beat the flood. Quick ball movement in there quickly.
Headland and Harvey, it's going to be a good matchup. It'll be a pretty attacking matchup. But and these could well decide who kicks the goals.
Well, you may very well see both players running into open space in the forward line like that, getting on the end of easy goals.
Harvey coming off a season high 30 possessions last week. This kick across the face, and Polak helps it through for a behind.
The Kangaroos are also going with a full ground zone, which means their half back line comes all the way up to the centre. Guys like Glenn Archer and Cole would actually play off their men.
When they haven't got the ball.
When they haven't got, in this case, it's Brown.
Yep.
Edhurst with a kick in the back pocket and a turnover as he hits Harding at centre half forward for the Roos.
Well, so far the skills have been poor, and I think that was a factor that Cameron Slob highlighted before the match, that if you lack some run and your skills also drop off, well, then you can look decidedly slow.
It's been a nervous start by Fremantle, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Especially coming out of full back. They've done a couple of little chips that have only just hit the target. We saw a player drop a ball. It's very nervous.
Stakes certainly high.
Well, if you have a look through this back line, it is a most inexperienced back line. There's some kids in first years. There's guys like Polak who still haven't cemented their place in the team.
As Harding hooks the kick from 50 through for a behind. The season at a critical juncture, in fact out of bounds on the full, and Patrick Smith, writing in the Australian this week, says Chris Connolly's reign as coach is at a critical stage, if not in a critical condition. Dockers clearing to Thornton, and now here's Dodd going wide. Well, Kangaroos with numbers, a push out, Kangaroos free. Clever by Harvey to take the advantage, but his kit dies on its way to Grant, and Dodd's in the way.
And they've just got to think this through a little bit. No point kicking into Pavlich. I know he's a ball magnet, but he's got 4 people around him. It's a useless kick.
Here's Bell for Cook. Now, he pops it up. Kangaroos should be able to spoil here. Headland was impeded by Harding, he was. And he plays on. He got the handball out, and that's terrific umpiring. He was right there, Craig Henry, saw the handball came out, and the Kangaroos away. Harding for Ferrito, for Grant, sold the dummy, got by Dodd, could go all the way. Goal square unguarded, Grant drives it long, and Polak will get back to cover it.
Stephen Dodd on Shannon Grant. He's had plenty of it, Dodd. He would have had 4 or 5 possessions already, but Shannon Grant may just have a few too many tricks for him deep in the forward line.
Edhurst chipping to Johnson. He takes off and uses Cook. Pops it up to centre half forward again. Kangaroos getting back in numbers. Brown knocking it down, and Archer taking it away. Targets Sinclair, nice hands, has Hale on the wing. He's got Ferrito running, might go longer, does. Harding given some latitude.
Well, all of a sudden, Wayne, a 0-0 draw is starting to shape up as a likely result.
Ferrito bombing it long. Harvey, chance, runs it out.
Well, we were out on the ground. I'm not sure how strong the breeze is. I think it is going the way of the Kangaroos, but they seem to be getting the ball off half back, and they've got more space in the Fremantle Dockers. One thing Shannon Watt will do with Pavlich, he'll be able to go with him on the lead because he is quick enough. It's just whether he has the endurance to sustain that for the whole game.
Kangaroos doing the attacking, leading by behind only as Jones was the man forcing it down. A wrestle, Peak, quick hands Parker. Now Dodd still under pressure. Nice sell of the dummy on Grant. He's bereft of options, so again has to go short. No, reaching out for it. Nice hands, Murphy.
And if we had a Snoopy in the sky, which we haven't, but we might be able to get a wide shot. We've got 36 players in one half of footy.
It is kick chasey today. Schofield now. Wide Medhurst. All of his touches in the defensive half now.
Well, Pavlich has made the space behind, and Hazelby's moved into it.
And Rawlings, his shadow, and that's a boundary throw.
And Pavlich is just questioning why Medhurst didn't get that on quicker. Once a forward like Pavlich has made some ground, you've just got to honour the lead.
Well, the right one wasn't the short kick. Pavlich went to go back into space. That was the time to kick the ball. He would have run on to an uncontested mark, probably 45 metres out.
He's working the Paikins paddock pretty well, but the players up the ground have got to think it through to help him out. Now he's pushed forward. I think nominally is the full forward.
Makepeace got it onto Archer. His kick effective for the Roos in finding an opening, but Schofield runs it down, uses the skipper, and he's got Johnson on in the middle. And now Johnson's going to drive it long. Good chance Dockers at the hot spot, but there's a lot of blue and white there. Longmuir got rid of Petrie. Brown is tackled. We'll have a bounce and check in boundary side with Michael Thompson.
Paul Medhurst taken from the ground straight after that kick. Wasn't directed towards the open space behind Matthew Pavlich. Straight onto the phone to the coach, Chris Connolly. He's sitting down, and obviously the coach not happy with that move.
Geez, that looked like a free kick from here. I thought Petrie was a bit stiff.
Already, Matthew Pavlich might have to play as a bit of a decoy, because when the Fremantle Dockers looked up on that last kick coming in, there were 3 Kangaroo players around him.
And that's not what you want to have happening to your star, is it? Having him as a decoy. Here's Sinclair at halfback.
Well,
nearly halfway through the opening turn.
You don't mind if the other 2 Dockers are smart enough to get on the end of it, kick the goals, but at this stage that hasn't proved likely.
Some holding on there, and Kangaroos free to Hale.
I'm not looking at the footy, mate. We're looking at him. You make contact. Right there, right there. Thanks, Michael.
David Hale hasn't missed a match this year. His 3rd AFL season. Was a high draft pick. Went at number 7 4 years ago. He's kicking this one towards Thompson, who's edged out of it. And now the Dockers can look to clear. Crowley for Bell. Nice hand pass. Cook wide of Peak. And in his first game, he's about to bang bodies with Glenn Archer.
Well, that'll be something for him to put down in his record book and tell his grandkids. But Troy Cook has had a number of knockers over the years, but you can't knock his endeavour, you can't knock his run, and I reckon he's been in as good a form for the Dockers as anybody over the last month.
Arms up, arms up.
Peak told his dad first when he was told by Chris Connolly that he would be making his AFL debut. Brian, a former Cat star and a Sandover medal winner here in Perth, as Sinclair marks on the wing. Still 2-1 Kangaroos. A little more than 9 minutes remaining in a arm wrestle of an opening turn.
A lot of similarities, I think, between the 2 debuts. I think Brian Peake debuted in round 13
against the Kangaroos, or then North Melbourne. Bell for Thornton, risky hand pass back, look out, danger. Bell gets it back. Dodd, Parker, they clear danger for the time being. Parker having to carry it, now trying to break the line. Man in front, Farmer. He'll have a tough afternoon against Makepeace. Jeffrey wins this battle, has Shammer wide, chips it to him. Shammer can run onto this, steady, 35 out for the game's opening goal. Terrific goal, Byron Shammer here on Fox Footy Sunday.
Well, it's taken a while for the first goal, but Byron Shammer is one player that we spoke about before the game, Jared, and said that for the Fremantle Dockers to win, he has to give the the Hazelbys and also the Bells support through the midfield.
Well, he's a talented player and a half. We saw some great footy out of him last year. Terrific player. Looks as if he's been carrying an injury or had some problems through the season and through the pre-season, but he have to endure and do his best.
Byron Shammer picked up 2 of the Brownlow votes the last time these clubs met.
You're inside. No, you're inside the circle when I was ready to go.
And therefore, Longmuir takes the free. Goes back to Shammer. Turning 20 on Tuesday, birthday month at the Dockers, and he goes to Pavlich here on a good lead. He'd have to kick at 55.
Well, haven't got another tall deep, so they'll be looking for a short target. Or pick out Hazel, because he is a magnificent overhead mark for his size.
He elects to pop it up in the direction.
Got it.
Oh, Clark coming out nearly, not quite. Crumbs, Crowley, Cook, about to be under pressure. Snaps, another one. 2 in a minute. Right place at the right time, Troy Cook.
Well, right now, I think the Aaron Sandilands decision is the right one, because they are not going to win this with a tall fella. They're going to win this with run the Dockers if they can get over the line.
It's a very good kick by Pavlich. He put it on the angle across the square to give the Fremantle player a run at it. That's exactly what happened. And nearly took the mark.
Guys, one in, straight at the footy.
Cook
one in,
had
guys,
kicked
straight at the
7 behinds without a goal this season prior to that moment.
Just looking at the Kangaroos, their advantage that they've got in the height department. I reckon the quicker they get it into their forward line, the better here, Wayne.
It's any forward line. The quicker you get it in there in any forward line, the better.
Hazelby. Good mark and the free kick.
Well, it's pretty clear from the body language and the way they've started here, the Dockers. They understand how critical this position is for them as a club.
Medhurst.
Push out.
In front of Ferrito. Left half forward. Bombing it to the hot spot. Target is Bell. They could have 3 in 2 minutes.
That's a fantastic kick. Coaches don't like to see that type of kick all the way across, because if that gets spoiled, that's in the Kangaroos forward line before you blink, but that is where the space is. I'm a big fan of it. The coaches aren't such a big fan.
One of those no, yes.
Yes, that's exactly right.
I reckon the more you see Paul Medhurst, the more you see that exact kick, as if they have practiced this.
Well, he's powerful enough to get it across there quick enough.
Big day for Peter Bell against his old club. He starts with a goal. And this has swung dramatically in the last 4 minutes.
Well, his 100th game for the Fremantle Dockers today. Pretty good effort. He played over 100 at the Kangaroos, 2 premierships, and he needs to play a big game today for the Fremantle Dockers if they're to win.
Well, right now he's had 7 possessions. Stephen Dodd's had 7 possessions. His man looks dangerous, like Shannon Grant, and they've dropped him down to the full forward line to get him out of the play.
199 career goals for Peter Bell in game number 223, and the Dockers are 17 points clear.
And the Kangaroos all of a sudden have to get busy. Some of their midfielders have got to start getting their hands on the footy.
Petrie got the hand to it here. Shammer's hand pass ends up Harvey, Harris, Sinclair, Grant about to be under pressure. Got it to Petrie, goes long, Thompson, 1 out. Free kick.
Well, that's 1-1. Graham Pollack won handsomely the last time they had a 1-out battle. This time he was just a step behind, and the umpire has ruled that this is a free kick. Wayne?
Come here, guys. That's it, Graham.
Look, it was over the shoulder, but if they're
looked like he made
to pay
contact.
them in every contest, there'd be a lot of free kicks.
They sprayed a couple of shots earlier, the Kangaroos. Thompson from right on the 50. Gives this one a ride, but hooks it as well. 3 behinds and 1 out of bounds now.
It's amazing what 3 quick goals does. All of a sudden, the Kangaroos are manned up all over the ground. Before they had loose players across half-back. Now it's man-on-man all over the ground.
Gene Wadley working hard in the box. There's Shannon. Marks the kick back into play.
Wells and Heath Black promises to be a pretty attacking battle.
Turnover, although Jones goes without it. Still a chance, the Roos. Thompson for Harvey. He's creative. Dangerous from the angles. And that's a wonderful goal.
Well, that's been haunting the Dockers all season. I reckon we've seen them 4 or 5 times, Wayne, and this kick-out issue is something that's costly.
It's what you said before, Jared. They're doing very well through the midfield. They've kicked 3 quick goals, but where they look very, very nervous is in their back half. They're just not coming out from behind with any direction whatsoever.
Well, Heath Black is one that has gone down there a number of times and kicked out. He's their best kick. Maybe he's just got her in this patch when they are nervous, get back down there.
Kangaroos with their first as Simpson replaces Harvey for the Roos. Cook off, Josh Carr on for the Dockers. Rotations in full swing as we enter time on to the opening term. Good partial smothered by Harris. Gee, Dodd getting plenty of the footy. 8 touches already. Black got it via Peak. Risky kick to a contest, and it's well marked by the skipper Simpson. Now Brown going long and direct, giving the forwards a chance. It'll land in space. The bounce eludes Thompson. Polak for Mundy, who's got the task on Motlop for the time being. His kick makes Heath Black work. Slams it towards the back of Peak. Dodder's there to mop up. Should have too much toe for Archer. Chasing manfully. Dodd keeps running. Delivers wide for Medhurst. Takes it out.
Well, Brett Peak looks an athlete and a half. Long rangey.
Good call, Jazzy.
Dodd also looks an athlete.
It's very hard to run away from a player bouncing the ball at the same time, and he did that to Glenn Archer on that occasion.
Well, that favoured the Rovers there. Josh Carr for Dodder was well tackled.
High. Glenn Archer free kick. No, he's coming in the top, grabbed him around the head.
Stuart Wynn providing the soundtrack there.
Well, the Dodd's issues are an interesting one. Shannon Grant is still on Dodd. He's getting a stack of the football. Shannon Grant started the last centre bounce up on the goal square, trying to, I think, get Dodd away from it. But all of a sudden he's become a problem up against a guy who's been in some of his career best form.
Harris delivers towards Jones. Got a push from Mundy. Elects to play on. Working in a confined space there. High kick Thompson. Polak couldn't mark. Bell to try and mop up. But just a little bit soft underfoot with the rain in Perth this week.
And this morning's paper here in Perth, Brad Hardy wrote a column suggesting that Graham Polak should be traded.
You agree?
No, I don't agree.
Crowley was off there, holding the ball.
For what? We're having a couple of beers.
Oh, I think it'll be more that he hasn't quite delivered in comparison to some of the fellows that have gone on in his year. But I've seen him play some good footy. You don't give away guys his size and capable of doing the stuff that we've seen him do in patches.
Speaking of capable, here's Daniel Wells right on cue. Being stalked there by Hazelby, conceding ground but maintaining possession to make peace.
That's the one that a few people are saying that if you kick backwards like that, it should be play on.
Do you agree with that call?
No, I don't.
Wells. 3 minutes remaining, opening turn. He kicks slightly forward. Forward enough for Watt to provide the springboard into the Kangaroo 50.
Now that's
LeCras pushed out, play on the call. Mundy under pressure, still going LeCras. A little bit of a fumble. Harris working hard there. Mundy as well, and we'll have a bounce. 20 out from the Kangaroo goal.
Thank you. Easy now.
What's your decision?
Well, there's been a number of these ones in the Kangaroos forward line. I'm surprised I haven't got one of them.
Now, Hale against Longmuir here. Good bounce for them. Longmuir knocking it away. Simpson for Hale. Under pressure. Carr. Look out, Shammer. Nearly caught. Kick smothered. Goes for the boundary line. Throw in.
Players that are clean with their hands in situations like that are worth every penny, aren't they?
Adam Simpson's handball out to Hale was superb, and I was watching last night. Some of the work that Scott West does is so quick that he gets very little credit for it at times.
He's clean.
Hale in front of Harris. Dodd, they're all hailing the cab, holding the ball 303.
How come you can never get a cap that quickly when we hail one?
And two good friends, Shannon Grant and Peter Bell, having a bit of a scuffle.
Must be the company you keep, Joe.
Wayne?
Dodd for Shammer, going wide to Bell.
Might be Shannon Grant might have gone on to Peter Bell now.
Bell with 9 possessions.
Well, that'll make sense because Dodd was too quick for him.
This is Ryan Crowley. His 4th senior game. 21-year-old, originally out of Gisborne in Victoria.
Love to have a mic on those two now, Shannon Grant and Peter Bell. There'd be a few jokes going on.
Rock, scissors, paper. You're serious? That's how they decided it once?
They did. That's what I read in the paper, and you believe everything you read in the paper, I got told.
Well, the media aren't wrong, Wayne, as you know now. Thornton from half back. Flood on again. There's 32 players within 60 metres of the footy here as Jones marks. And Corey Jones is trying to get involved here as we work our way towards 1 minute remaining in the opening term, and he's happy to go backwards for Rawlings. The task on Hazelby. He's kept Hazelby to 2 possessions so far. Paul averaging 19 a game this season. Watt electing to play on.
Touch.
Just punching it wide. Hailed the target, as you heard, touched, and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
Well, an interchange here. Brent Harvey coming onto the ground and Daniel Wells off. Similar players. You have to work so hard here that if you can't rest in positions, and that's rare to do now, because as soon as you go to a forward pocket, the back pocket takes you charging up the ground. Then these players are going to do some hard running kilometres.
Nice pick up by Peake, but Sinclair, wearing him well, wins the free kick. Inside of 30 seconds to go. Clock is stopped.
Like Jared, today they may be able to go for a little bit longer because of the cooler conditions. Only 15 here today.
Now, time for the Roos as Sinclair electing to go backwards as well. And he misses the block. But there's plenty of space back there with the flood on. White just daringly goes for Ferrito, but time is running out here. They have been patient, the Kangaroos. Sinclair working hard again.
Hope he can kick at 70.
He's going to pass it off and they'll have time, and Harvey's got it with a kick after the siren from just a fraction beyond the 50.
Well, young Boomer's going to have to be up to his nickname, because that's how he's going to have to kick a Malcolm Blight type torpedo.
Yeah, what's interesting here is when a player runs in. Now, this is probably beyond Boomer. He's got a little bit of breeze in his back, but what players often do is they run around to the right so they get that extra pendulum with their leg to get the extra distance. But in actual fact, is that play on? He's got to mark after the siren.
Yeah, that's a fair
if he runs straight at the kicker, it's not play on. But if he runs around on the arc, it is play on.
Well, he's having the Dennis Lilly run in. He looks like he's going the torpedo. No, it's a drop punt.
And from 52 out, he's hooked it, getting the extra distance, which he does comfortably, but it is through for one behind. Well, it shapes up as being a struggle this afternoon. Dockers by 9 points at quarter time.
I was going to say Glenn McGrath, but after you get beaten by Bangladesh...
No more cricket references.
No cricket
today.
credits.
No, it's done. It's Fremantle 3-1. Kangaroos 1-4 here on AFL Sunday. Not a game destined for the archives just yet, but it is a struggle, that's for sure, and the stakes are high at Subiaco. Some blue sky in the background as the Dockers lead by 9 points at quarter time. Shammer joining Bell and Cook on the Dockers goal kicking list. Dodd back in the side and winning 10 possessions across half-back. Bell with 9, Harvey with 6 possessions and the Kangaroo goal in the opening term. Well, I've been eavesdropping in on the match committee meeting. Gentlemen, you were talking about Matthew Pavlich, just 2 kicks in the first quarter. What was the resolution?
Well, we sort of figured that with the exception of Nathan Thompson, who's basically holding his position deep in attack, it's turned into a game of keepings off with tackling here, Wayne. And Matthew Pavlich is a player, I think, who's being wasted.
Yeah, look, I'd be using Matthew Pavlich. He looks frustrated at centre-half forward. He's leading a lot. They're not using him. I'd be putting him on the ball, similar to what they're doing with Jonathan Brown at the moment, and then let him drift forward when he wants to.
Let's go down to Michael Thompson.
Yes, indeed, gentlemen. Matthew Pavlich will start this second quarter at centre-half forward. Dean Laley very animated. Really wants his forwards to convert their opportunities. Likes the pressure his forwards are putting on the Fremantle defence. It really is an arm wrestle. Chris Connolly was reasonably happy with his midfield during the mid part of that quarter, and happy with the set plays as they go into the forward line. Obviously, they want to use Matthew Pavlich some more, but gentlemen, as you said, it really is an arm wrestle, and it's a very tough, tight contest.
And Byron Shammer was the one who got them going in that middle part of the quarter. He got on, and he's had 7 possessions already. But if the Kangaroos had taken the most of their opportunities, I think the scoreboard would be a little bit different.
Byron Shammer is going to be a gun.
Okay, we'll just write that down. He's still just a teenager for another couple of days, but consider it done. He's going to be a gun. Petrie and Longmuir. Longmuir likes to take it himself. Dangerous. Got the kick away well, though, to centre half forward. Off hands Brown. Paccioni knocked it away from Bell. Under pressure, Watt. Brown. Archer with space. Petrie. Has Harvey short, uses him. Now Harvey can work with Harding here, and he does. Harding closes to 55, goes long to the unguarded square and bounces it home. Terrific start for the second quarter. It was described as being a make or break year for Lee Harding. He kicked 3 last week for the Tigers, and after a slow start, perhaps securing his spot in this Kangaroo team.
He's an exciting player, Lee Harding. It's taken him a while to get in this year. He had, I think, 17, 18 possessions a couple of weeks ago. He has to make the most of his opportunities. He has to kick those goals. And one of the criticism that people do have of him is he misses those opportunities.
Straight at it, guys. Straight at it.
3-1 to 2-4. Petrie goes early, wins it on the way down. Car sharks it. Spiral kick deep to the pocket. Colbert at full stretch. Takes the mark.
Great mark from him. He's going to pop it off to his skipper and Simpson. But at that centre bounce, the Kangaroos started 8 players behind the ball, in their defensive half.
Simpson towards Harvey. Like a conversation Wade had on the playing with a soccer fan today. Why don't they put more defenders than strikers on the field for the bounce? Here's Cook. Deep to the pocket. There's some holding there. It's a Kangaroo free.
That is one area they might try to exploit Brady Rawlings, and that's in the goal square with Hazelby, because he is very good overhead, although on that occasion he did have a handful of jumper.
Gee, it's opened up for the Roos here. Petrie goes to Ferrito. He can mark and play on, although closing Medhurst, and Ferrito perhaps was thinking about the next option. Here it is, a low ball for Thompson, and he can't hang on.
Kill you. Bad kicks, kill you.
On the rebound, Thornton.
There's
Loping style, kicking wide, really making things hard for Murphy. Off the ground, Brown. 1% is important today, and that found the boundary line. Good crowd on hand of more than 33,000. Makes it close to being the weekend's best attendance. In the 6 AFL matches, the first part of round 13. Longmuir shoveling it out for Black, and now Cook. Havlich. Oh, reading it so well, Shannon Watt.
Yeah, I reckon Pavlich just chucking, take Shannon Watt up into the middle of the ground, go for a 3K run.
Well, he just doesn't know how to play in the midfield, Pavlich does, so take him out of familiar territory, run him around, then drift forward when you choose to.
Good build-up by the Dockers midfield, though. The kick had too much on it. Farmer, always dangerous, and a creative kick for Cook.
And Peter Bell just jumping in the air.
Colbert's the one that looks very dangerous for the Fremantle Dockers. Young Murphy doesn't know quite how to play centre-half forward properly, and Colbert is cutting off a lot of forward entries for the Dockers.
Saw Peter Bell on side screen. He was just trying to...
think he was playing for there?
He was trying to put a block on and disguise it.
They actually practice at it training these days. They jump, and you're meant to jump so it doesn't look like a block. But you're meant to put your arms up, Peter.
And you're supposed to be within 6 metres of the ball.
Meant to look like a dill either.
Well, they're struggling to kick goals at that end of the ground. The wind must be a little trickier than what we're giving credit to.
Now, Kangaroos running the huddle. Dockers with a couple of outriders posted. Not all that far, though. Not a true zone. And now the Roos bring it to the broadcast side. Paccioni with the mark.
Good kick. Great hands, too, from Paccioni to mark that.
And look at them run. Sinclair's got Simpson on. And that was clever. Used Paccioni, applied the Shepherd. Paccioni to Grant, one out. Led Dodd underneath it. In the pocket. Harding off the ground. McGrath, self-preservation there as much as anything, and it's through for a behind.
Shannon Grant isn't the quickest player in the league. He's probably a medium pacer, but Dodd must be very quick because he started behind and went straight past him.
Let's have a look at Peter Bell. The wide shot, he's going to jump and put on the block.
Star jump count of 1. Here's Dodd. They're big kids at heart, a lot of these footballers, folks. Over the top, Longmuir with sure hands. He's been up forward a bit recently. 8 goals in his last 5 games.
That's where I'd have him right now. Up forward. Pavlich onto the ball into the ruck, if there is such a position these days.
Would you have Pavlich taking the centre bounce then, or bring Longmuir
No, you
in
just
for
bring
that?
Longmuir in for that.
Yeah.
Pavlich could just stay ruck roving. There's probably almost a return to his position of last year.
Here's Brown for Petrie on half-back, free to the Roos, and advantage not paid there. So it'll be a downfield free kick paid to Petrie.
Either that, or I put him in the goal square and tell him to stay there and just lead out.
Well, there's no one within 75 metres of the Docker goal now as Sinclair. No one on the mark. That's how intent Fremantle are on getting back. Watt's just going to have to bomb it to a contest off the side of the boot at Spills. Thompson, Parker, no holding. Harvey, clever. Harding, caught. Dockers with numbers should win out. Thornton to Longmuir, risky ball. Shannon Grant the steal from the boundary line. Goes to Thompson, brilliant stuff. And Thompson was nearly off.
And he's going to be on the most incredible angle. But if he just holds his nerve, as I'm sure he will, he'll just walk in, step out 1 metre and turn this into a relatively easy shot. Now, you thought that that person on the plane was joking. They've got a 15-man defence.
And Thompson steadies and puts the Kangaroos in front.
Well, it was unselfish by Shannon Grant. He was on the boundary line and saw Nathan Thompson standing in the goal square. May have played on, but the umpire decided that he didn't. I think he'd come back here and...
That's fair.
That's fair.
And then a clever kick, just stepping out 2 paces and putting it through for his first. And the Kangaroos have kicked the last 3 of the match now. They came from behind here last year to win. A 5-goal-1 last quarter. Got them a 17-point victory at this ground in round 15, the Roos against the Dockers.
They're just starting with 4 players in their forward half, the Kangaroos, and 8 in their back half. The rest are in the middle.
And in tennis parlance, the I formation, all straight up and down the corridor in the Dockers attacking half. Bell to Carr. That means they'll split wide, which they do now. And there's some holding. And it's a downfield free. Edlin will take it. Goes deep. Farmer, Makepeace in front, stood his ground. Farmer slips. Ferrito's in trouble here if he drags it in. Pavlich and Medhurst working hard. Rawlings, great tackle. Oh, that was a rugby maul. A bounce. Edge of the goal square for the Dockers.
And right now, Peter Bell has got another opponent. This time it's Michael Stevens running with him.
Will the Kangaroos try to concede a behind? Umpire bravely going for the bounce near the goal line, and they try to concede. Longmuir read it brilliantly. Just couldn't get boot to ball. He was aware of what they were going to do.
Wasn't that intelligent? That was super smart, Longmuir. He's a ruckman. You expect a ruckman to go up, and the other ruckman tapped it straight to the ruckman.
It's a place to stand. It amazes me that other players don't stand on the line, because you know exactly where they're trying to hit it.
Now, will he do it a second time? He'll go for it. And it's through for a behind.
Got to know when to hold him.
Thank you, Kenny Rogers.
What the Kangaroos have done is they're making the Fremantle Dockers now kick it to contested situations in the forward line, and that's not what they're not good at that. Pavlich isn't a pack mark. He's a leading forward.
Just looking the way it is turned into a real scrum though through the middle. Pavlich looks like he's going to be better if he's deeper. Right in the goal square and just gets onto anything loose.
Makepeace deep for Michael Stevens. Pavlich providing the spoil. Medhurst to run onto it. Sweeps the hand pass inside for Schofield. Too far out to score. Pavlich. Long and direct. Gee, Bell's got a fly against several. Brown. Farmer is caught.
And that's the frustrating thing. You want Pavlich on the end of that Pavlich kick.
Here's Shabba. He's a classy finisher, but not this time. One behind. Playing under the pressure of Wayne Carey's words from 20 minutes ago.
He will be again.
Huddle again employed by the Roos. Makepeace to bring it in. Medhurst and Bell, the outriders at the corners of the screen. As well, Brown's going to be the man on the end of it if Makepeace sees him. He elects to go barely the required 15 for Rawlings. Back for Makepeace. Has to run off Farmer, no mean feat. Kick for Simpson, not good. Carr closed late. Corrido, good pickup. Target Lacroix. Now Grover slipping. Does very well. Got it to Carr. Oh, turnover straight to Corey Jones.
Right there, Justin, right there. Thank you.
And now Thompson leads wide. Jones goes to him, and Thompson's straight through the fingers.
Well, skill errors are plenty here at the moment. Windy conditions and a bit slippery.
The wind has actually turned, Gerard.
It has.
Let's check in with Michael Thompson.
Lance Petroni's copped a knock on the lip. He's just off for the moment, and pretty sore. A big fat lip, but Kangaroos reasonably happy with their start to this quarter.
Wind's turned back again, Wayne.
It has. It's changed direction from the first quarter. The Kangaroos have had it for both quarters.
Stevens, who was the late replacement for Jess Smith for the Roos, to centre half forward, and standing tall is Grover. Going wide for the first gamer in Brett Peake. Been in terrific touch with East Fremantle in the WAFL this year. Goes short for Cook. Roos by a point. And having to wait here is Ryan Crowley. A patient game for the Docker fans here.
Oh, she's a crowded wing.
Crowley goes short. Parker. It was like the Oz kick game. All the players within 60 or so metres of the footy. Here's Pavlich. He thumps it long. Gives the forwards a chance. Hazelby there. Waiting down Farmer. Makepeace. Nuggety little defender. Farmer, great balance. And vision for Hazelby. Clever handball to Schofield. Great teamwork, Fremantle. And Schofield puts the Dockers back on top.
Well, that handball of Hazelby's looked unusual. I'm absolutely certain it's legal, but I think he may have just, it was almost like a poke. Let's have a look. Great work from Jeff Farmer to set this up. Oh no, it's just a classic one round the corner to Schofield, who read it well. Great combination between three ball players.
They manufactured that goal, but you wouldn't want to be kicking all your goals that way. Very messy.
Yeah. First goal in a Fremantle jumper. Jared Schofield, game number 199 today.
At the footy.
Peake in the middle, along with Shammer and Carr for the Dockers.
Petrie winning it down to Jones for the Roos. Out wide, Harding dashing after it. Mundy reading it well. And the target was Carr. Wells. Great touch. And a perfect delivery for Thompson. That is your Daniel Wells catalogue right there.
You're shaking your head, Gerard. Do you think he was going for the pass?
I think Thompson might have gotten away.
Oh, no, I'm giving him the pass.
He might have been going for...
He would have seen him coming. He saw
actually,
him coming.
I thought, yeah, you might be right there. I think he did pass it.
Well, he hit him right in the chest, so we'll give him the credit. But the skill and the dexterity of that spin, that steal was just frightful. Frightening, I should say, just how easily he did it.
Thompson's fourth shot at goal today.
Oh, well, that's a Wells effort.
Number 2 for Nathan Thompson, and the Roos are back in front. Lead change number 5 here on Fox Footy Sunday.
Well, we know what sort of player Daniel Wells is. There's been a lot spoken about over the last, I'd say, 7 weeks. He had a very good game against Brisbane where he had 30+ possessions, but the 4 weeks prior to that he was very quiet. The last couple of weeks hasn't set the world on fire. If he's to have a big one today, the Kangaroos will win this game.
Halfway through quarter number 2.
Tomo, whilst you're sitting there, you're probably in the shelter of the wind a bit, but has the wind turned a little bit?
A fraction, Jared. It's blowing across the ground, but once it gets in between the stands and swirls, look, I generally think it's pretty much doing as it was before. It's probably favouring the city end of the ground, if anything. But it does swirl a lot. It is really difficult to pick. But certainly, from the top, if you look at those flags, it's coming directly across the ground.
I must be blind because it was pointing the Kangaroos in about 10 seconds ago. But I think you're right. I think it's swirling.
It seems to be gusting down that way, but you can't determine or depict any great advantage either end.
They are struggling to kick goals at the city end, though, aren't they?
Kangaroos by a point in this perhaps season-defining game for both clubs. Good tackle, Wells on Bell. No prior opportunity, a bounce, 55 metres from the Kangaroo goal. They've got the Bombers after the bye at the Telstra Dome, remembering 7 of their last 9 at the Dome, the Kangaroos this year. Fremantle after the week off, heading to Amy Stadium to take on an informed Crows outfit. So this match all the more important for the home team. Now holding the ball is called. Kangaroos the free kick. Thompson the lead. Will Jones see him? No. Wrong man taking the ball. It's Petrie. He sees Thompson and he should mark. And he could have his 3rd goal for the quarter.
That's your favourite side of the ground, Wayne.
It is. It's the kick that you got to kick into the forward line. It's the one where you use the angle. That's where the space was. And Nathan Thompson knew it. He dummied to the side that Petrie had the ball on, and then he just come back out the other side. That's where the space was, and it's an uncontested mark. And Graham Polak, to me, doesn't quite look quick enough to go with Nathan Thompson. On a few occasions now, Thompson's had a break on him. Dropped the mark about 5 minutes ago when he had 2 or 3 metres.
Kick from just inside the 50, a poor one behind. Doubles the lead, 2 goals, 3 is Thompson's return.
Brad Hardy, I didn't read the article, but saying that they should trade a guy like Graham Polak, it's probably a bit harsh. We know that he had a very tough pre-season. I think he is carrying what is a pretty sore knee.
Right on cue, he takes the good mark.
And that's why you don't trade him, because he can do that.
And some carry on the kick back into play as well by Parker. But simultaneous to that, players running to this zone. Look at that, it's crowded. Play on. Stevens, good ball for Simpson, elected to play on, uses Sinclair, knows this ground well, the former docker for Jones. Closing to 60, free to Kangaroos, advantage play on, long to Motlop in the square, he's being held and will win a free.
Andy spot to get a free kick. And it's a brave decision from the umpire. How'd you see it, Wayne?
Well, I'm not sure about the free kick. I'd have to have another look at it. But Daniel Motlop was always going to have the advantage over Cook in the goal square in a one-on-one situation, wasn't he?
Motlop converts. The Roos lead is 8 points.
And it's been an impressive quarter by the Kangaroos. They created some opportunities in the first quarter they didn't take. Let's have another look at this one now, Wayne.
You can play Derek Humphrey-Smith on white line fever there, Wayne. What do you think?
Well, look, I think both players were grappling. I think it was the jumper in the end that Cook had with his left hand. You can see there, as soon as the umpires see that jumper come away, they're going to pay a free kick every single time.
10th free kick for the Roos to 6. Kangaroos have kicked 5 of the last 6 goals here, and after trailing by 17 points early, this one has turned around and they're getting the clearance. Harris to Harvey. Devoid of options, so he becomes creative. Over the head of Harding. Now Parker. Deep in the defensive zone. Goes backwards. Effective enough. Finds Mundy. And he'll use Headland.
Well, according to our stats, Lee Brown is the highest possession winner for the Kangaroos.
11 touches, 5 kicks, 6 hand passes, and that's over for a boundary throw-in.
What that is, Jared, Glenn Archer and Lee Brown, basically what they do is they drift across half-back. They haven't got an opponent, and they pick up possessions at will, and unless you make them accountable, they'll do that all day.
Arms free, don't hold.
Nice work if you can get it.
It is one position that all players playing AFL football want, that loose man in defence.
Sweeper. Plenty of players around the footy. It's going to be tough for someone to extricate it. This is where you would love to have Aaron Sandilands. If you could just beam him out there, Scotty, and then beam him back.
Here's Headland. The Shammer. Good touch. Models it to half forward. They play leapfrog on Bell. Brown is there. Colbert, and away they go.
This should go straight to the goal mouth. One other kick.
Sinclair to Stevens. Is called on, goes to Motlop, makes him work against Mundy, running out of room, keeps it alive. Motlop slip, Mundy eventually does. Grover gone, the crowd tackle, holding the ball.
Well, we saw about 4 disposals there not hit targets, and both coaches will have the same message at half-time. We're getting killed by poor disposal. Tomo on the boundary line, some big news.
Yeah, Matthew Pavlich coming off the ground. When he landed, his left shoulder clearly hit the ground and impacted. Matthew has had problems. I'm just getting out of the dugout to have a look now as he gets treated. Has had problems with both shoulders. Just remember too, he was involved in a pretty serious car accident on Thursday night, and he had some checkups that really shook him up. So his preparation for this game has been interrupted, to say the least. But that left shoulder, the AC joint, that could be very serious.
LeCras misses across the face with that shot at goal.
LeCras had that shot at goal because Lee Brown off half-back wins the ball and sets up the free-flowing run for the Kangaroos. Not sure whether Chris Conley should say, OK, take our loose man, go up, man Lee Brown up and say, OK, let's play some one-on-one and don't allow that man to link players up so they get that sort of run.
I don't think it hurt. I think athletically the Dockers look as if they've got extra runners than the Kangaroos.
Schofield to Cook. Puts himself under a semblance of pressure, then bombs it long. Longmuir in front. Can't mark. Colbert in number 200 for Sinclair. Might have gone the short option in hindsight. Harvey trying to help him out. Crowley hovering over it. Headland about to be caught. Harris got him. Got him. Got him.
You've dragged it in, Des. No, you don't. Don't tell me you dragged it in.
Well, they're sweating on these free kicks today, aren't they? You can see them just sweating on the players.
And then Harris trying to elicit a 50 against Dodd, not forthcoming. He was aware of the rules.
Just with that loose player that sits behind the ball like Brown is in this quarter, if he's dominating the game and setting all the run up, then you have to do something about it. If it's your player doing it, well, you allow him to do that.
Well,
at this point in time,
they've sneaked into a 9-point lead.
Well, at this point in time, Brown's doing the better job.
Dodd going wide. Crowley marking on half-back. Can they get some run into their game? He just toe pokes it to midfield, and it might be a turnover. Stevens gleefully accepts. Whirls running into traffic, and then clearing it. Hale for Sinclair. Elects to load it up. They've got 2-on-1 at half-forward. Jones is the target from behind. Didn't really work well with LeCras there. And now Thornton can provide the springboard. But the Roos have got the wall there at centre half-back. Thornton trying to clear it, going wider for Farmer, and it's a good kick.
That is a great kick. There were 6 Kangaroo players in their back half. He was the only target, and he got it.
Burrito, the spoil on Medhurst, and Rawlings waxes with Colbert and now feeds Brown.
Very much a soccer move, though, isn't it? Because of the wall, he has to go wide. In soccer, they go to the corners. In Gaelic footy, they go to the corners. Then the next one is straight out in front of the goal face. Unfortunately, that one could have been a mark, but the disposal wasn't up to it. And that's the question you ask. Are the sides at the moment, they're trying to play this high possession football, are they capable of disposing of it quickly enough and accurately enough? And here's the injury.
Yeah, that was Pavlich as he went down on that heavily strapped left shoulder. And at 2.5 minutes from half-time, maybe remaining there for the remainder of this second quarter. As Schofield to Headland. Short ball, but effective enough. Oh, the option there, Murphy straight into Cook. Did well to keep his feet. Schofield. Now they can go. Farmer on the lead. The kick won't reach him, though. They're making their forwards work.
Well played, Jeff
Still
Farmer.
going, Jeff Farmer. Does well to knock it out. Burrito dived on it. A bounce.
Well, you heard what the umpire said. He said different.
And the players will be saying, yeah, only because it's 30 metres from goal.
Pavlich back on, so that's good news.
We'll have a replay to find out exactly how different it was.
Archer taking them on, bollocking through, clearing the danger zone. Simpson pushed in the back, careless by Pavlich there.
One of the best captains in the AFL is this bloke. Just such a general.
Just keeps getting the ball week after week.
Set so many players up in the international rules. His generalship was beyond his reputation. It was superb.
Chips it to the wing. The ball going nowhere in a hurry as Motlop just throws it to Harris.
We believe you, Daniel.
Minute 20 remaining. One of the more easier calls the men in yellow will have today. There's Mundy with the free kick. Minute remaining. Dockers just one goal in this second quarter. Ground heavy if you joined us late. No rain has fallen since the opening bounce. Nothing to cause 50 there as Dodd, the late call up for Sandilands, takes the mark. 9 points adrift. They led this game by 17 in the first stanza. Kick is very wide, boundary thrower.
Just on the loose player in defence that the Kangaroos have in Lee Brown, you can't pick up where the Dockers free man is. What he's obviously doing, he's playing through the midfield. But then when he looks up, there's no one to kick it to. What he's got to do is probably play across half-back similar to that of Brown and stop the Kangaroos going forward.
Roos heading for the boundary line late in the quarter. This will be a better result for them. The clock will continue to run. Kangaroos with 4 goals 3 to 1-3 in this quarter. As I mentioned, they trailed by 17 points when the Dockers kicked the first 3 goals of the match. Still time for a breakaway. Down to 10 seconds. Chance for Carr. Can he break the tackle? No. Big tackles on him as well. Headland caught fairly by Paccioni. That was a terrific tie-up.
Free kick, you don't need to do that. No.
A little extracurricular activity, however, and Carr,
Easy.
there's about a second to go. Could get a kick after the siren.
Well, they don't want to give away 50 because I doubt whether Josh Carr can make the distance from here.
Stand up if you don't be silly.
Maybe a torp.
When he signals time back on, the siren will sound. Carr.
Right there, Adam, right there.
Time off still blown. Passes. And the Kangaroos intercept anyway. Half-time at Subiaco Oval. And look at the spirit in this Kangaroos team. They came here on a mission to celebrate Lee Colbert's 200th, and they've wrestled their way to a 9-point half-time lead.
Yeah, it's been a real struggle. It's been very tight. There's been a rolling maul going up and down the ground, and it hasn't been pretty. There's been just 9 goals kicked in a half, but the scores are close, so there's plenty of interest left here at Subiaco.
Roos by 9 at the long run. And we're set to go. Roos to the left, the city end, Dockers to the right. Longmuir and Petrie nullify one another. Carr taking them on. Harvey sharking it and leading out, not quite hanging on Harding. They've got some run. Sinclair just puts it in front of Wells, says run this down. Daniel does, tight angle, misses.
Well, it was unfortunate the conversion wasn't up to what we know Daniel Wells can do, because it was a brilliant kick by Sinclair. It was a great handball out. It's just a good passage of play by the Kangaroos. They look sharp.
And a very open forward line.
It was basically get the ball in the middle and then charge. Charge of the Light Brigade. They know there's space there. And he went straight down the middle.
Black given the hurry up. And Headland comes in to provide the shepherd. Black carries the football. Down the line he goes. Crowley in from the side, the spoil down to Shammer. Now Crowley. Well, the boundary line is friend, throwing on the wing.
Well, we saw last night Scott Camporeale get pinged for kicking the ball out of bounds in Darwin. He kicked it at good 30 or 40 metres and got pinged for it. That one went about 10.
And you thought it was deliberate?
I think that's where he meant for it to go, Jared.
Absolutely.
Play on.
Harris tied up.
Play on.
Ball emerges to Simpson. Hurries it towards Hale and Johnson. Mundy there as well.
I think Mundy might be a loose man, Wayne. The other end of the ground, they've got Leroy Brown, who's just floating in front of Pavlich. And that tactic has worked a treat so far.
Thank you.
And the youngster, Mundy, just dropping off the back of the pack here.
Stevens, Grant, Motlop and Lacroix, the bench for the Kangaroos.
And he's a good man to have isolated because he makes good decisions and he's got good skills.
Thank you.
And that's the key to that player that you have loose. He has to be a good user of the ball.
I reckon Mundy, he's such a gifted young player, very impressive in his first year. I reckon he could end up being their kick-out man. He's got a big enough body to be a target.
Wells, the pressure on Crowley. It's tight, it's hot. Henlon brought down. Parker can't control it. Plenty of blue and white there lurking.
She's up for grabs this game, isn't it? You can sense that the players have sensed that.
It's not pretty.
That's an understatement, but the severity of the situation means it could break open.
And Black might be just the man to provide it. He can run and carry the football. Sweeping hand pass inside for Schofield. Tried the knock onto Henlon. Colbert got in the way. Turnover. Kangaroos rebound. Harding's got Sinclair all alone on the wing.
Now, you can't blame Black for that decision because as he looks up, all that he sees is Lee Brown.
Thompson.
You want the one-on-one.
And there's a free kick against Thompson to Pollard.
Well, they win the ball through the midfield. Black coming down the ground, streaming down, and all that he sees is Brown.
Nathan and dragged him down, okay?
Pollock's had his own problems with injuries to
take it,
shoulders.
Graham.
And it seems to be a growth injury, shoulder injuries in AFL footy, and there he does get dragged down, and that was put in a nasty position. Just have a look, it's extended the arm, and that goes into the dislocating position. That's a nasty one.
Yeah, Pollack, remember 2002, his first year destroyed by shoulder problems. Cook in front of Wells.
Daniel, back 2 metres. That's it there, Arch.
Pollack happy to run on, not seeking any further attention from the trainers, which is good. It is a stop-start game.
It's tough on supporters, but you just have years sometimes where it doesn't all come together. And when you consider how well McFarlane was playing, how well Matthew Carr were playing, they could ill afford to lose those two players. Now, they need Pollack to develop, they need him to lift, but if McFarlane can come back and fire at his very best up forward, that's a poor decision. And Pollack can fire, well then structurally you've got two good players, and then Hadrill to fire, you've got your structure back.
Here's Carr closing in on the 50, had the bounce, a little bit ambitious, slipped. Henlon for Schofield, centering ball, and here's Johnson lurking in space. Oh, and hello, Farmer's given it away. Farmer has given it away.
Jeffrey's let himself down. He's had a great year, Farmer, and that's the sort of stuff that will bring it undone.
And now the Kangaroos can go. We'll have another look in a moment. Colbert for Ferrito. Targets the skipper. Marks on half-back. Kangaroos can run. That could be a costly two-goal swing. Makepeace. Elected to chip wide. Hale, the big man marks. Forward line open. Delivers to Thompson at the 50. Sinclair in support. He backs himself. And the big fella gets away. Unguarded goal square. And he misses to the left-hand side.
Jeff Farmer being dragged off the ground for that indiscretion.
Here it is again. And Johnson takes the mark. Colbert waiting down. That's just simply not needed. Umpire had to pay that.
All that Lee Colbert was doing was basically saying he was obviously giving the young fella a bit of a shake up, say, okay, you got that grab, and the Wizard just took it too far.
Yeah. The Wizard may have thought that he got a bit close with his foot.
Yeah.
Question now, how long will Jeff stay on the bench?
I wouldn't be leaving him there too long. He's
there's the question is answered.
Yep.
And Johnson, he wanted to come off, so Johnson comes off, Grover's on. And Murphy takes a seat as Farmer heads back on. Archer. He only knows one way. Black. Grover. This is more promising, although the kick to Medhurst is too deep. Hazelby's been well checked by Rawlings. 4 first-half possessions only for the usually prominent Fremantle midfielder, and the Kangaroos win the free kick here. Free kick count is high today. Kangaroos have won 17, the Dockers just 8.
Unfortunately, with Jeff Farmer getting the penalty against him, we didn't really acknowledge how good the kick from Schofield was. I mean, he's one player with that rare ability to pinpoint passes, and he's got a mind that enables him to make the decisions. Can you train decision making, mate?
Well, I honestly believe that that's the difference between the footballers of today and the athletes that we are now recruiting that can run very well but aren't necessarily great decision makers.
But can you train it? Because I think that is one.
To a degree, Jared, under pressure, you'll always go back to just being an athlete.
A lot of work being done, and I think at the AIS, I think Neil Craig involved pretty heavily in decision-making training.
Let's check in with Tomo at ground level.
Michael Johnson has come from the ground. He's copped a poke in the eye, a rather nasty one, just getting some treatment from the club doctor at the moment. Hopefully that won't be too serious for him.
Josh Carr, heavy press, heavy tag on Adam Simpson.
Patient game by the Roos. Now it will open up for Watt. Crosses midway. Penetrating kick inside the 50. Polak reading it very well.
And that's what Graham Polak is very good at. He's got great courage, the kid, and
great mark.
He goes back with the flight. Was a good mark considering he hurt his shoulder just 2 minutes ago.
The Dockers with just 1 goal in the last 45 minutes of playing time.
They're just finding it difficult getting behind the wall of Kangaroos. Going sideways, stack of short kicks, a lot of uncontested marks, high possession footy. You need smart thinkers.
Schofield to Bell.
Now that nearly broke down because that was going to Thornton, that kick. Luckily Bell chipped in and saved the situation.
Shammer finds an opening.
And here's the turnover.
Sends it very wide. Target is Farmer.
He got away.
He wants to get one back. Delivers to the square. Medhurst kept his feet. Oh, desperate Kangaroo defence. Medhurst wants a free.
Holding the ball.
Umpire says a bounce. It seemed to have squirted out of the pack, and maybe Craig Hendry didn't see that it had come out. It was a good contest.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, and I think the umpire got it pretty well right on that occasion. Looked like it had squirted out.
Still a chance, the Dockers. It's like a rugby maul. And Jones, will he concede? He's thinking about it. Farmer wrestling with Simpson. Free kick advantage play on. Harvey away. Might run himself into some trouble. Defers to Brown. He's caught. And he threw it out.
Once again, the Kangaroos have got a lot of numbers behind the ball.
34 players in Fremantle's attacking half.
And that was Harvey's problem. He didn't have a target to kick it to, so he dropped his decision short.
Headland to the hot spot. Waiting down. Farmer! Yes!
Long kick.
Jeffrey is back in the good books.
Spot on, Clinton. He got the he gave one away and he got that one back. But here's the free kick, as we see here. It possibly wasn't a free kick. It did spurt out, but the Wizard, he's got one back for the Fremantle club, and Chris Connolly didn't leave him off for long, and that's the reason why. If there's one man that can win this game for Fremantle, it is Jeff Farmer.
He turns 28 next week. Jeff Farmer really caused some headaches for Dean Laidley in the run home. What a struggle here at Subiaco.
Got a handball. Knock it out, Josh. Knock it out. One out.
Cook. Pavlich chance. Slip through the fingers. Still going Pavlich. The pressure on Watt, who got it to Brown. And now Colbert for Jones on the wing. Archer with support. Measures a kick. And a diving Shannon Grant takes the mark.
Yeah, important that hit the target and that Grant took the mark.
Thompson on the lead. Now will he have a shot? near the boundary. He's kicked 2 goals for today.
He hasn't been converting well. He's had a shot today already, which could have extended their lead. Now it's more important that this one goes through because they're challenged and they're really being pressed here, the Kangaroos. They need a stabiliser.
Just 2 of the 10 goals today have been kicked at this City end. Thompson, the deliberate approach. Pretty good effort. Bending back nicely. He's got his 3rd.
And that kick adds 20% to their goal tally. 6 goals. It's been a very, very low-scoring match.
Really, it was a goal against the flow, though, wasn't it?
Yep.
Fremantle Dockers controlling the ball through the midfield and had the ball in their forward 50. Fair bit of the play. The Kangaroos able to take the ball from one end of the ground to the other without the Dockers touching it.
One in, guys.
Nathan Thompson kicking what was a very good goal.
Presenting well. Nathan Thompson. 11 points. Kangaroo lead.
Play on.
Longmuir cleverly down for Bell. Skipper running.
Went too far. Play on advantage.
Wells away.
Even the most experienced get run down because they can't find a target.
Long to centre half forward. Grant, Longmuir, collision course. Dodd, clever. Executed supremely. Pavlich with 4 to beat. Brown, uncontested.
Play on. Touch, play on.
It's a touched ball towards Wells. He defers quickly for Paccioni, who's good vision. Spies Harvey, and that's just 15. The Crow at right half forward.
Go round, mate, go round. Round. Hey, go round.
What doesn't he just call play on?
Thank you.
He's got to get him right, I suppose. But
And he didn't know his name, obviously. He's only in his 4th senior game. Long ball to the top of the square. Hale off hands. Grant.
good body work, Grant.
On the right, across the face. Thompson the chance. On the left. Missing to the near side.
Let's take a look at this Peter Bell clearance, which should have been. He's looking for somebody up forward and he got run down. Put gumboots on him and he challenged Cliff Young for the amount of distance he travelled there.
Norton on half-back. Less than 9 minutes remaining. 33,532 watching this duel. Carr, defensive side of the outer wing.
Just a wry smile there after a few words from Glenn Archer, from Josh Carr.
What would have Glenn said? Wayne, you know him well. Congratulations, strong mate.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, Costi, kick, turns it over. Pavlich had some words for his teammate, expressing his desire for better delivery.
You look at this, 1 against 3.
And maybe Corey Jones could argue the same towards his teammates as Grover to Carr to Crowley. Now Wells is closing. Crowley maybe sensing the crowd's eagerness for him to move it on, did so to Carr. And now Bill, and now Headland. This is the important ball though. The entry inside 50, it's a bomb. Kangaroos spoiled, Pavlich weighted down. Medhurst keeps his feet, snaps it at goal, and Makepeace will get there on the line.
But they've looked most dangerous, the Dockers, when they've gone in a long way.
That's right. Well, what they're doing now is that they're getting a couple of numbers back. They've got Mundy playing loose. They're the ones creating the run off half back, which is allowing them to get more scoring opportunities.
Good run by Hale to get free on the Makepeace kick in, and all of a sudden the Roos work it to the wing with Paccioni.
Low scoring, just 6 goals to 5. Could end up with a penalty shootout.
Paccioni spelled for Stevens. Archer likewise with Harris returning to the field of battle. This ground, they want it to be renamed Anzac Field. The Clubs pushing for expansion of the stadium as well, but the government resisting the urge, Jared, to make it a 50,000 seat venue.
Which would seem a strange decision, Clinton, given that every other capital city has got a 50,000 stadium, and the support for these two teams here is enormous.
Well, you can't get a ticket at an Eagles game if you're a visitor pretty much during the season because of the vast number of members. Fremantle, another big year membership-wise. The ground just about sold out today as well. So,
and the Eagles and the Dockers, they've got a decade of great footy coming up just on the stocks that they've got at the present time.
Harris is tied up. We'll have another bounce.
Thanks, Daniel. Quick.
6-10 to 5-5. More than 33,500 on hand. Second best crowd ever for a match between these two clubs in their 10 years of meetings. Hale won it down. Hazelby's kick, McCarr's kick rather, ineffective. Hazelby still struggling to find the football. Hasn't touched it this quarter, just 4 possessions for the match. Remember, he averages 19 a game.
Yeah, Hazelby to the goal square for mine. He can take a grab.
He's been there for parts of the game, though, and he hasn't been able to take a grab.
But the ball hasn't been coming in long like it is now. If it's coming in slow, he's not going to win it because he can't break into space.
Gee, Harvey has to chase this kick down himself. It was a dangerous one. Schofield getting there first. Now they can get it in quickly. Thornton pops the handball in front of the running Parker. The defender from 60 loads it up, goes deep. Burrito!
Well played, Burrito.
Oh, that was something there.
That differentiates between good backmen and great backmen. The ones that know when to leave their man, come across. Makepeace was gone here. He was probably going to give a free kick away, but Ferrito came over the top and cleaned it up for him.
That will be viewed in Dean Laidley's highlight reel of this match, no doubt, at Arden Street during the week.
It's the great Archer trademark and the Colbert trademark. Guys that come over the top, don't expose themselves and know exactly when to go.
It's shaped as being a team lifter for the Dockers anytime a defender kicks a goal. Parker just 9 in nearly 200 games of footy.
Well, the key to that, Jared, is when you leave your opponent, you make sure you kill the ball. And that's exactly what he did.
There's Headland. Keeping the energy levels up as Sinclair is slung. Longmuir shoveling it out. Here's Hazelby now. Working it to the first game.
They're getting the bounce off half back here now, the Dockers.
Peak with a couple of bounces. Backed himself. Kick towards Farmer. Watt, Colbert, Brown. The pylons of the Kangaroo defence.
This is where they've got to work it through here, the Kangaroos. They're breaking down this next kick. They're just going to have to wait and hold and reset. Get some numbers forward. And this is a good move because Sinclair will whip around onto his left.
Leading ball winner on the ground with this kick, Jess Sinclair. 17 uses of it. This is to Stevens, who came in for Jess Smith from the selected 22.
Jared, Jess, play on!
Stevens going wide. Simpson leading, outstanding his ground. Crowley.
That's a good mark.
Just his 4th senior game. And now Mundy, his 8th.
All of a sudden, the Dockers have turned the tables on the Kangaroos. They're pushed the bloke back, as you suggested earlier in the match. One that's working well for them.
Just getting no reward. There's Bell. Told to play on. Risky. Colbert knocked it down. Wells, they've got 3 on 2.
Kick.
Short ball for Jones, and it travelled 15.
He is an unbelievable player, Daniel Wells. He instinctively cleared the chaos from his mind. He could see exactly the option there, and he was good enough to be able to execute. Under pressure, weaves his way through, doesn't get confused. The game still stays a slow game for Daniel Wells. No matter how much pressure you put on him, his mind stays calm.
It will be another score assist for him. Corey Jones will determine whether it's a goal. This for the Kangaroos' biggest lead of the afternoon. He was 9th in the best and fairest last year. Kicked a pressure goal in Sydney in round 19 in Glenn Archer's milestone game. He's in Lee Colbert's milestone game here, and with 3 minutes remaining in the 3rd term, it's an important kick. 17-15, his return for the year. This is an ugly floater, and the only man who read that at the front was Grover. And so the intrigue continues.
Well, they've had a couple of chances just to put another couple of goals on the board here, and they're all going to be worth their weight in gold because the Dockers will throw the kitchen sink at them in the last quarter.
Black down the outer side. Pavlich the target. Brown has support. Uses Wells.
It was 3-on-1 once again against Pavlich, who really had no hope unless he takes a contested mark.
Motlop. Caught. Good tackle, Black. Rewarded. Oh, and that could be 50.
Easy, easy. Josh, I don't need you to come in, mate. Otherwise, I'll reverse it.
Stuart Wynn right on top of the situation. Watch Black here and watch how he drew Motlop in for the 50. Goes at him first and then drew it.
And almost by instinct, the Kangaroos runner stands up. And out he goes.
And the phone rings.
And out he goes.
And that is great play by Black.
It is.
He's a fiery player himself.
Yep.
And he drew that 50.
You pick your volatile opponents, don't you?
Yep.
And now this kick could give the Dockers some momentum. 2 minutes from three-quarter time.
There's no way he can pass it off because the Kangaroos have got every gap covered. He is a beautiful kick of the football though, Black.
Had a good year, averaging more than 20 possessions a game. It'll take a good kick from 55. Distance, no worries. Accuracy, good as well. Margin, 4 points.
Well, a lot of people were talking about Josh Carr being the recruit of the year for the Fremantle Dockers, but Heath Black, I think, has overtaken him as their recruit. He has been superb all year. He is in the games where they've been beaten, he's played well. In the games they've won, he's played well. He's been their most consistent performer on ball.
Yeah, he's had a couple of quiet ones only. He's been superb. We spoke to a couple of their officials today. They're thrilled with his performance.
Heath Black's goal has generated a buzz around Subiaco Oval. One more either way before three-quarter time could be pivotal. Grant goes wide. Dean Laidley rolling the dice, leaving Motlop on the field. Will he deliver for him? Oh, Thompson had it. Couldn't hang on. Maybe caught Hale from the side of his eye coming in. 1:33 remaining.
And
well, their ones, sorry, Jared, their ones forward should take. They should wrap those up.
Yeah.
Tomo will be very disappointed in that.
And Tomo on the boundary line, Stephen Eck, he is demonstrative getting blokes back in defence.
He just yelled out, he's saying to Pav, to all the boys to quickly lap up and get that wave across the midfield. Very loud and making the message very clear with so little time left in this quarter.
Sinclair deep, through for a behind.
Well, it's what the Kangaroos have been so good at all year. They've been behind in last quarters and they've pinched games. They've been behind in late in third quarters and been able to kick really important goals in red time. And the Fremantle Dockers wouldn't want them to kick a late goal now.
It was Stephen Eck.
Yeah, that was a conference call.
Blood pressure up.
Parker.
Right there, Lee, right there.
5 points the Kangaroos lead. If you joined us late, Dockers kicked the first 3 goals of the match to lead by 17 points. And it's been virtually goal for goal since. Roos wrestling 11 points clear, but it's game alive now. Final minute of the third. Ball on the wing. Grover kicking long. Pavlich in front. Strong hands. He's a fraction too far out. He wants to go quickly. Drives it long. Farmer, the enigmatic one, gives away a free.
Actually is a trouble. There's something wrong with that because
I tell you what,
you're in a wrestle. What are you supposed to do?
I tell you what, players, that's exactly right. The reason why players do what Jeff Farmer has done there, and he didn't throw him away at all, Makepeace has actually just gone to ground, and the reason why players actually do throw away, although Farmer didn't then, is because they're in a wrestle. He says that they want them off them so they can at least go for the ball fairly. Bad decision.
But I think it's a decision the umpires feel they have to make because they see the sling. I just think it needs clarifying.
He actually didn't sling then, though. Makepeace
went to ground.
Went to ground.
Kangaroos, one final chance for the quarter. And the clock frozen at 2 seconds, so it looks like the Roos will take a tenuous lead into the final term.
Very different, very similar to the circumstances last week we had on Sunday footy for Fox, Wayne, where we were down at Geelong and Geelong looked gone at 3/4 time, and they found a way to win. I reckon close finishes advantage the home side. So the challenge ahead now for the Kangaroos.
3/4 time, and the Fremantle Dockers season may well rest on what happens in the next 30 minutes. If Dean Laidley can get the Kangaroos across the line, it will be one giant step towards September. Stay with us. Final term is next.
You got the shakes from your head to your feet. I was just gonna say, but I won't. Well, I'm not into chasing. Don't need to make no stand. Been all over the world now, baby. Played 1,000 hands. I didn't mean to hurt you or rub your nose in the dust. I was out of my mind now, baby. I went to hell with lust.
An intense afternoon. It was Germany 4, Socceroos 3 earlier this week. It's 6-6 Kangaroos Dockers at the end of 90 minutes here. Thompson with 3 goals for the Kangaroos. 3 goals, 5. Nathan Thompson's return today. Jess Sinclair and Lee Brown finding plenty of the footy. All single goal kickers for Fremantle. Schofield and Shammer their leading ball winners as Dean Laidley implores his troops. That is one tight huddle right there, gentlemen.
It is, and it's a long way to come to go home if you've lost by a point or two. Wayne, you suggested to me at the start of the match that this is going to be decided by 5 points only. There's nothing here to suggest otherwise. It's 5 points of difference.
5 points of difference now, but not sure what it'll be at the end of the game. I don't think it'll be a very big margin, but look, the Fremantle Dockers come out after half-time, and they did what the Kangaroos did to them in the first half.
Michael Thompson, we're watching Chris Connolly with his final words. Big last quarter coming up.
The message is pretty simple from Chris Connolly, Clinton. Just throw everything into this quarter, absolutely everything. It is such an important game for the Fremantle Dockers. Michael Johnson, we saw he got a nasty poke in the eye, into his right eye, and he's had some treatment on that. He should be fine in this quarter. Dean Laidley, the message again, throw everything into it, but breaking down across midfield, going through their half-forward line, he's saying they must be able to convert their opportunities and look for the right options from there. The crowd, unusual feeling. It's almost silent because at most really don't know how this game is going to go. Season-defining stuff, certainly for the Fremantle Dockers.
33,500 on hand. Dean Laidley, well, he rolled the dice with Daniel Mutlop after giving that free kick away to Jeff Farmer and elected to chat to him one-on-one at 3/4 time. A learning moment for the young man, and some good coaching from Dean Laidley. Well, this is it. Kangaroos win. They're 8-5, and you would think on their way to September. If the Dockers lose, they're 5-8. Their season is gone. If they win, they're alive.
And every shot at goal will be like a penalty shootout. There'll be plenty of pressure.
Final term underway. Petrie and Longmuir have rucked against one another virtually all day. Harris, Piccioni, Rawling, Simpson.
Grover loose in defence for the Dockers.
Here's Motlop. Now Petrie has floated forward. Motlop goes to him. Petrie waits against the smaller Cook, who spoils well. The bounce eluding Grover. Grant dragged it in. He got it out to Petrie and Sinclair. And he virtually shins that one back to Archer, who spears it into the pocket, and Harvey drops a mark he'd normally take. Heads for the boundary line and finds it.
I think Scott McLaren was happy he didn't Play that one.
Mate, concentrate on the game, Valley.
That's
All right, get it.
what the umpiring department said. They think Scott McLaren umpires every game. He's not here, Jared. That's Stuart Wynn.
I understand that.
Jeff Gitchin said that this
Yes,
week.
but if that one had have been played, it would have put the pressure back. Oh, cop that.
In the back. Coming back. Free
Still
kick
landing on
count.
his back, mate.
Free kick count
The
running.
other guy did.
The Kangaroos' way, 21-10. Has raised the ire of the locals.
Don't be silly.
Well, Stuart Wen, just about 30 seconds ago, said to Peter, button it up, Peter, get a kick.
That's all right, isn't it? Peter Cameron said the same thing in the old days. A bit of jousting between player and umpire. Grant, floating kick.
You've got to take the mark if it's in your hands.
That was Murphy. It was socket wide by Pavlich. Ferrito pushed off it in the side. Well done, Farmer. Oh, looping handball bounced fortuitously for Hazelby. Good tackle, Motlop. Sinclair goes to ground. Some intensity. Farmer doing well again, affecting a bounce.
Yeah, Jeffrey Farmer, that's superb stuff, isn't it?
Yep.
He won the ball twice in contested situations and actually held that in there. Great stuff, Jeff.
We are consistent, Jeff. You both had the footy. Thank you, Jess.
Now he's being very polite.
He's actually offering some help to the umpires, Jeffrey. Bit of advice.
Play the ball, play the ball.
Edwin, third man up. Carr
Well done,
moving it on
Glenn.
quickly, but the Roos are there in vast numbers. Harris back to Colbert. Harvey conceding ground, maintaining possession. Watt wide, Piccioni.
Play on.
Got Headland in the air, wheels past him. Harris provides the shepherd. Piccioni delivers to Simpson.
And that kick is so invaluable. 45 metres to a mark, to a man, accurate.
Good day for Simpson. 16 possessions, 7 marks. Kick towards Thompson. Over his head. Watch out. Wells is dangerous. He's also electrifying. The kick, though, letting him down here, and the margin is one straight kick.
Yeah, I like the look of the bounce. It was a basketball dribble, just very close to the ground, and realised that if he took the time for it to do a normal bounce, it'd take that little bit longer to come back up, and he wouldn't have had as much time.
He's a unique player. Goal of the year last year in unique circumstances, and I think he's positioned it beautifully here, Dean Laidley. He's going to play out of the goal square. He might only get 2 possessions, but he may win the game for them.
I reckon he'd be a handy hoops player as well. Classy blink as Hazelby flies high. A terrific mark.
That's a beauty.
Yep. Pay that.
That'll be in the Toyota Mark of the Week contenders. Kick up towards the wing. Colbert for Sinclair. This game still there to be won. Motlop finding space, and he would have to kick it about 51, 52 metres out.
I think the distance won't trouble him. I think it's the accuracy only. He's a pretty big kick, this kid.
He can kick the ball. It'll depend with Daniel. He's a type of kick that if he tries to overkick it, he'll spray it.
Just his second game for the year. Thumping kick, distance okay. Hooks it, margin 7 points, and it's 7 behind. 6-13 to 6-6.
Right now the game being played on the Kangaroos terms. They've got the forward press on, if you like. They've got all but 1, 2, 3 players in their forward half. So the forward flood is on, and it's a question of now, can the Dockers penetrate it?
Wait, don't go forward.
Thornton. Cook.
Flood just moves to the midfield.
It's hard to generate some run, and they're forced to go wide like that. And that's too wide. Harvey to take it. Fremantle's lowest score against the Kangaroos is 7-5.
That was cool by Harvey. When the umpire said play him, he didn't panic. He waited for the Docker player to commit himself and come at him. A little shimmy, to use your terminology, Clinton, and he got around him.
That's twice Des Headland has been balked like that in the last couple of minutes. Got to learn not to leave the ground so the player's able to go around you.
Shamaron, important move here.
Yep, he's one of those sparks that could lift the Dockers. Harris, Sinclair, Harvey, look at him creative, directing his teammates. Hurrying a kick towards Petrie. Black the spoil. Shammer dangerous. Piccioni rides the bump well. Cook drags him down. Bit takes it.
Chance to break. Got to get
Hazelby.
over the next line.
Good deflection, Colbert.
23 possessions to Kangaroos, 8 possessions to the Dockers in this term.
So I hope this game isn't decided through poor umpire decisions.
Harding's won the free here, too far out to score. 22 free kicks to 10 now in favour of the visitors as Harding goes to Thompson. And he is going to have his 9th kick at goal today.
And the difference here is the Kangaroos would have pushed everyone back under those circumstances. The Dockers had 3 or 4 players that could have been in the hole for Thompson there. Got to commit more. I mean, this is going to come down to whether this kick goes through. Maybe 1 or 2 others. There's only been 6 goals apiece kicked.
And if this goes through, the Roos really will be able to shut it down. 13 points will be their lead. Doesn't sound much, but in the context of a low-scoring afternoon, a very valuable lead. It would be the Kangaroos' biggest of the day if Thompson can kick his 4th goal.
Post.
Shaves the post. He's kicked 3 goals, 6. 6-14.
Must navigate their way through the flow. And generally the only way to do it is to get it across to the other side of the ground, because that's where the space is, but they haven't got any players there.
Rover going to have to kick to a contest. Rawlings has worn Hazelby well all day, and he's winning a free kick.
It's just too far to go.
Short ball, Petrie. Thompson again, couldn't hang on. Dockers have got to clear it and go. Polak for Cook. About to be mown down. Motlop flings it out for Harvey. Now Petrie on the run from 50. The big man misses as well, and the margin is 9 points.
There's been a lot of mistakes coming out for the Fremantle Dockers, but as they look up, what they see is a flood of, or a wall of Kangaroo players across that half-forward line for them. As you said, Jared, it's very difficult for them to get out. Kangaroos have got a very good zone.
Troy Cook was almost paralysed by decision-making. He couldn't make one. There was nothing for him. There was no out plan, no exit. He doesn't want to kick it long. He's been instructed not to just bomb away. There's nothing short.
Black's good long kick in has cleared them 50 metres of real estate. He's got it again. And bereft of free men. Bombs long. Farmer couldn't hang on. Makepeace, clever underground handball for Wells. Petrie.
They have to work harder here, the Dockers. This game is slipping beyond them.
And so is their season, perhaps.
Here's a chance.
And Dodd charging out of defence.
Sure.
Oh, turnover. Simpson, Thompson, goal square unguarded. He uses Shannon Grant. And it's now a question of accuracy for Shannon Grant to see whether he can put the Roos 15 points in front.
Well, as soon as the ball got turned over, Shannon Grant put his head down and sprinted towards goal. And he's ended up with it. He's on a little bit of an angle. Could have been a better kick from Nathan Thompson.
Well,
but he's got
decision by Dodd, because I mean, effectively he should have run past that player he kicked it to, and the player should have shepherded it. I mean, he had the burst. Now he's an inexperienced kid. He won't be held accountable for it. But it's this game of football that where the vision is 20 metres, 30 metres only. No one looks up. They're always looking short.
Shannon Grant, 30 metres out, has missed as well. And the Kangaroos' inaccuracy is keeping the flame flickering for the home team. 6-16 now to 6 goals 6.
The saviour so many times this year, Shannon Grant. Couldn't put the nail in the coffin.
I reckon Dodd is going to be one of the solutions here. He's just so quick. He's in trouble.
Oh, what a wonderful tackle. It is rewarded. Lee Harding is deceptively quick.
It looks like they're going to have to break the tackle through carrying the ball. They're not being able to do it by disposal. Their disposal isn't good enough. And Dodd is the option. He's so quick out of there. Maybe Josh Carr, if he had his timing, would have laid it off.
This final quarter being played exclusively, and the Kangaroos attacking 50. The Dockers scoreless through the opening 10 minutes, and now Lee Harding can line up for his second goal. The margin 10 points, tightish angle, protection of the three-tier stand, 45 metres out, putting a down payment on victory for the Kangaroos. Harding gets his second. And on Fox Footy Sunday, the travelling Kangaroo fans are ecstatic.
Well, that's the biggest goal Lee Harding has kicked for a long, long time. And I said earlier in the call that one of the criticisms of Lee is his goal kicking. He's kicked 2 goals today. Both have been very good goals, and he will never kick a more important one in his career so far this year.
They were 17 points behind in the first quarter. They lead by 16 in the last.
Well, the Dockers have just got to win it from the centre, because otherwise the Kangaroos are going to be able to block it up. They haven't done that. If they don't, they've got to push Pavlich onto the ball, because there's no point having your best player sitting up in the forward 50.
Thanks, mate.
Just getting cold.
And that's what's happened so far in this final term, as the former Docker, Sinclair, delivers for Shannon Grant. Good pickup on the half volley. Caught by Dodd, got it to Harvey, handballs to space, Fremantle fill it, Cook, Bell, Parker.
I reckon they've got to do something radical here, Wayne, and maybe change Pavlich with Polak, because Pavlich would be running off Thompson, and all of a sudden he'd be creating some mayhem down there.
We'll put him in the play, put him at centre half back, put him somewhere where the ball is.
The first 13 minutes of this quarter by the Fremantle Dockers may just well be the most ineffective quarter of football we've seen by any club ever. They have not come close to scoring, and if the Kangaroos kick straight, they'll be all but celebrating now. Stevens driving it long. Thompson, good position, takes the mark, and now his 10th kick at goal today. Fremantle fans want a free, and they've got one. Stuart Wynn has come from about 60 metres to pay that.
Thanks, Nathan. Appreciate it.
Let's have another look. Stevens just passed Stuart Wynn there, and the jumper hold appeared pretty clear, but from the kick, it's been turned over straight back to Harvey.
Well, good work there by the umpire to override that.
Here's a first. Wayne has officially, what is it, the 19th of July or June, has wrapped up an umpire.
It took 12 rounds in the Sunday chair, but he's done it. And Stuart Wynn will be the pride of the umpiring department when they gather for training on Monday night. Stevens, the kick inside the 50.
Oh, great mark.
Terrific grab.
He's a player, this kid. He can really play. He's going to get better when he gets a little bit more experience.
The Fremantle Dockers have not gone inside 50 in this final term. Kangaroos 11 times. And we've crossed halfway of the quarter.
This is exactly what Neil Danaher did with the Demons up in Sydney. He realised that the Swans get a lot of their run from deep in defence, and as soon as they got the ball in their forward line, they just pushed all their numbers up the ground. This is a forward flood.
And it's working to perfection.
It is working magnificently. Here's a chance.
And one of their rare chances, but Thornton's handball set up. Murphy caught. Free kick, high one. Hazelby's going to get it.
It's been messy though, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been shocking, but it is big like soccer. It is close, so it's exciting.
Hazelby wide. So there's a revelation. You find soccer exciting. The 3AW listeners to Sports Today will be high-fiving one another. This is peak. Driving it. Can they take a pack mark? Pavlich there, waiting at the back car. The ball took an turn. Left foot kick. Well, he had more time than perhaps he anticipated. Boundary throwing.
Well, if ever there was a kick that showed the advantage that left footers have, that was it, because he just spun out of it the way that everyone else would have not anticipated, and he had more space than he knew.
Still deep in attack. 16 points adrift. 8:40 remaining. Longmuir to the centre corridor was clever, and Peter Bell can't bounce it home. First score of the last quarter for the home team.
Now the Dockers have to show the same desperation that the Roos did when the ball was up there, and they have to block this ball in and get the next goal.
And they concede the first kick in short and wide to Colbert.
But they're not. They're going basically man on man. They've got one extra down in defence, but this will come out.
Colbert to Archer. Now, and that is good to see what the big man working for him. It dragged Headland away. Opened a hole for Stevens and Rawlings to run to. That's turned down. He goes to Harris in a contest, and Shammer had to spoil and does.
Clinton, would you say that the Kangaroo tactics of the forward flood have been successful?
Statistics would say absolutely.
And when coaches see a successful tactic, do other coaches implement it?
They will say, Dean, you're a genius.
Welcome to the future.
Yeah. Not pretty at times. Harris to Archer. Harding couldn't trap it. Parker, here's a go. They've got numbers. Peak, good use of the footy. Schofield. Now, find a target. They say, gee, target's Pavlich with 4 to beat. Simpson wide. Harris. Closing in Grover. Has to make the tackle stick.
Great handball.
Brilliant stuff from Harris to Stevens. He's corralled in on the boundary. Concedes ground to Archer. He might go all the way back to the defensive goal square. And does to Brown, who fumbles it. Will he concede a behind? Oh, this is a remarkable game.
Well, it was good work. You have to say it's good work by Fremantle to hold the Kangaroos up. And Glenn Archer had to go backwards.
But the thing is, Wayne, they can do that for the next 7.5 minutes. And they're going to be happy.
Makepeace. Oh, Stevens split to space. And it wasn't that hard zone that the Kangaroos had been running, so he could get there. Thornton doing well against Jones. Grover now taking them on, brought down. No chance. Clock running down, 7 minutes now. A Fremantle loss today, coupled with a St Kilda win next week in the second half of round 13, would leave the Dockers 2 wins and percentage out of the top 8. Hard to make up in the final 9 rounds. Harris to Colbert. Is he set to celebrate game number 200 in style? Towards half forward. Grant under pressure. Paddled it terrifically for Sinclair. And Clever finds Hale.
There's no hurry if you're in Hale's shoes.
Take some time off the clock.
It was a beautiful kick by Sinclair, wasn't it? And that's probably been the difference in this last quarter. The Kangaroos have been able to hit targets at crucial times. The Dockers haven't been able to.
Well, they came in with perhaps their most inexperienced side for a long time, the Dockers, and it's probably showed, and it's probably going to be the difference. And a lot of that inexperience is in the back half. Most of the game has been played in their back half. So in some ways it was inevitable, but
Hale from 55. Has it got the carry? No. Touched on the line. Margin 15 points.
And as much as a lot of people are writing the Dockers off on the back of this loss, if it ends up a loss, they'll get a number of players back after the break, and if they can get their structure, Hadrell, who unfortunately I think tore a hamstring again the waffle this week, McFarlane in particular, and Carr, makes an enormous difference.
Yes, they have had a terrible run with injuries. Kangaroos likely to eclipse that mark for their lowest score ever against Fremantle, but well, if they'd done enough, it would appear to secure the 4 points. Colbert short. Thompson on the lead. At the back, Corey Jones. It wasn't touched on the way through. And with 5 minutes remaining, this kick can extend the lead beyond 3 goals. And there is an air of inevitability surrounding the result here for the folks at Subiaco Oval.
Go out, guys.
In perfect conditions, Clinton, this may well be a record low score for a win. I mean, these are perfect conditions.
Go out of the back.
8 goals likely to be enough, and not just for a win, but a 21-point lead to this point. Quite a significant margin. Jones to seal the deal. Terrific result
for the Kangaroos as we enter time on of the last quarter on Fox Footy Sunday. Sunday night football virtually on the East Coast. Dean Laidley coaching to the end. And today's a good day to get on the plane and you're sitting next to Dean Laidley on the way home.
Have we understated the Kangaroos here today? I mean,
I don't think we have at all.
They've kicked 8 goals, 17. That's a fair few scoring shots.
Yeah. Okay, lads.
Hale in the middle now.
This bloke's been good and
he's
has
been terrific
for most of the year, Jess Sinclair.
Bounce kind for Stevens, missed for Rito, so opens the door for Shammer. But Lee Brown just waiting back there, mopping up and picking up possessions at will.
Well, you have to pay credit to the way they came here, the Kangaroos. They came with a plan and they have executed it superbly. They're going to go back and they're going to start thinking finals. I know the coach won't and the players probably won't, but their supporters will think they're justified now in thinking that this is an underrated team because together they play fantastic footy.
And the way the even nature of the season is, probably 3 of the last 9 would be enough to guarantee the Roos a final spot. That's not 15 metres, Shannon. He takes on Black and on the right foot kicks deep for a behind.
It's a different side of the one we saw in Canberra, Wayne. This is, I mean, the intensity is there, which is making their whole game plan work.
Yeah, they've just closed this game down, and I'm sure that's exactly what Dean Laidley wanted to do. And like you said, mightn't be pretty, but the Kangaroos have come here, they've had a win, and they've executed what Dean Laidley has wanted them to do very, very well.
I'm not sure Dean Laidley gives
No.
a rat's toss bag to include a Malcolm Blightism
As
about pretty.
That's right, as Paul Roos. Paul Roos is sitting back saying, I don't care, I'm sitting in the 8.
And by and large, supporters, if your team is winning, you're happy. You don't worry about the state of the game. Kangaroos with just 15 more possessions than Fremantle today. Archer towards half forward.
I imagine that Andrew Dimitri will have a comment on the way that both sides are playing on Monday.
Well, he's turned to the ovation channel by now.
I know one thing for sure, though. The Kangaroos have definitely had more inside 50s.
Gone.
One more run down.
Old chase, Daniel Motlop.
Pavlich tied up. Grover for Shammer. Now the only man in the 50 is Brown. Bell's got a man very wide going forward. Medhurst, and he takes the mark. Elects to play on. Dangerous. Farmer's under the hammer. Running out of room. And that is a metaphor for Fremantle's afternoon.
Well, when you see a player run into open space like that, it's usually the right thing to give it over the top. But on that occasion, Watt was just far too close. And one thing Shannon Watt has got, and that is pace.
And I think that's probably why people shouldn't be too harsh on that decision from Medhurst. It was the right decision. It was unselfish play. He wasn't to know. Well, maybe he should have known that Watt is super quick. But
Pavlich just 9 possessions today, capping a tumultuous week after having his car written off in an accident on Thursday. Cook was car pushed in the back. He was. I fancy advantage for Pavlich. Oh, that's unlucky.
It wasn't an initial advantage. Right on the 50 sim.
like the little handball there from Daniel Harris. He's a hard worker.
He's very clean in close.
It's
very good hard worker.
A Westish afternoon for him. 3 kicks, 12 hand passes. That's just a 9-9 lob to the top of the square. Colbert. Well, they got the desired result. They didn't concede a behind. A minute and 35 seconds remaining. About 20 of his family made the trip across from Bendigo to Perth to celebrate today with Lee Colbert. A long and arduous journey to 200. Archer. Oh, that's a clever kick. Just bounces it to Harvey. Delivers to Sinclair. And they might not concede a goal in this final term. Fremantle Dockers, at this stage, their lowest ever score against the Kangaroos from their 10 years of meetings. And the pressure, the blowtorch, will be applied to Chris Connolly. simply by the fact that they will be 5-8. And this up and down season, terrific away wins at Melbourne and Geelong showing what they can do. But here at Subiaco now, just 3 wins from 7 matches this season. The finals appearing to be a pipe dream.
The difference between the winning Dockers and the losing Dockers would appear to be enormous. But I think if you look at players missing, it's the half-back running players that aren't here. In particular, James Walker.
Yep, Hayden can do that as well.
Hayden and Dion Woods have both had roles, in particular Hayden. And Matthew Carr,
not today.
They're just getting no rebound from players, experienced players, who can make right decisions as they were when they had their gun side in.
The waning seconds of a memorable afternoon for Lee Colbert, Dean Laidley and the travelling Kangaroos as Thornton from 60 bombs it long to the top of the square, and the siren will beat Pavlich. The Kangaroos have posted a convincing victory by 22 points. A tremendous result for Lee Colbert in game number 200, and the respect with which he is held at Arden Street is on display there as the defensive half make a beeline towards him on the siren. The Kangaroos now have won 8 from 13, and they appear to be bound for September. What an afternoon it's been for them. If not for some inaccuracy, they would have won by a lot more. 8-18 to 6 goals 8 as we head to Michael Thompson.
Well, Jess Sinclair, that must be a very sweet victory.
Oh, it is. We knew it was going to be tough coming over here, and we look forward to the break now. We knew it was going to be a huge game to go 8-6, so we're wrapped.
You played to a real game plan there in the last quarter. I think you held, didn't go inside the Fremantle 50 for the first 10 minutes. What were Dean Laidley's instructions before that last quarter?
Oh, we're just sort of trying to get one loose bloke behind the ball and just soak it up and then try and run it forward when we won it.
What's it like for you coming back, an ex-Docker? What's it like coming back to Perth and beating the Dockers in such a vital game for them?
Oh, it's always sweet, mate, playing against your old club and winning, so pretty back.
Mate, Carl, congratulations on a super effort.
Thanks, mate.
Well, you might have heard the boos in the background, Tomo. Chris Connolly hearing it from those people there. The Fremantle Dockers supporters, well, they are very, very unhappy, Jared, and they are expressing their anger this afternoon.
Well, I think it's been written up that the season was on the line, and at half-time they probably expected a victory. But you know, the Kangaroos came to play, and nothing can be taken away from the Kangaroo outfit. They won the match tactically. They won it with just more application when it counted.
I don't like to see that where Chris Connolly's walked onto the ground. Let's be honest here. There were 22 players that played out there today that couldn't win the game. Let's not blame it on the coach.
Well, they're giving it to the players as well as Lee Colbert.
Good on him.
Yeah, all shucks. He says to his teammates, carried off. What a journey it has been. We'll come back, talk to Lee and wrap it up. Kangaroos win it by 22 points.